Good day, property investors, and welcome to another episode of Stuff Vlogs. And today we're going to talk about the differences between pre-selling and ready for occupancy units. What does it mean for you when you buy pre-selling? What is the difference when it comes to financing? Why do some people choose to buy pre-selling instead of a unit that's already ready to occupy? So before we go into all of that, I'd like to invite you guys to hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell button so you can be notified whenever a new video comes out. Alright, so let's talk about real estate. Alright guys, so let's talk about the most obvious difference between pre-selling and ready for occupancy units. So the first one is of course the turnover date. When we talk about RFO or ready for occupancy units, that means the unit is already available. You can already move in, you can already use your unit. As compared to pre-selling units wherein the unit is still going to be available in the next year or even in the next couple of years, it's still going to be constructed. So why in the world would people buy pre-selling units? So you might be asking, why would you do that? If you already have a unit that you can move into, why would people choose to buy pre-selling? And one of the reasons that I can see is because of the difference in financing. So let's talk about what's the differences between pre-selling and RFO in terms of financing. Okay, so when it comes to financing, we have to understand a few things first. So what are the ways that you can finance a property here in the Philippines? One is through bank financing and another is through pag-ibig financing. Another is also through in-house financing. But let's talk more about bank and pag-ibig. So when we think of bank or pag-ibig financing, something that we have to realize is that these financing institutions will not shoulder the full amount of the property. So let's say for example, you want to buy a house that's worth 5 million. So the bank will only shoulder a certain portion of that 5 million. So let's say for example, they have an arrangement with the developer wherein they have what we call a 1090 scheme, or if they have a 2080 scheme. So 1090 means 10% will be the down payment or the equity, and the 90% is the amount that the bank can finance. So for you, if you are the buyer, then that means you will have to shoulder that down payment amount. So when we're talking about houses that are ready for occupancy, that means that since it's already there, the developer or the property owner will expect you to pay that down payment to them right away. Because of course, since the property is already present and you can already move in, since it's already going to be turned over to you, then that means the owner or the developer will expect you to pay the full down payment. So let's say the property is 5 million pesos worth, right? So 10% of that is 500,000. So if you have the 500,000 to pay for the down payment and the rest you can finance through the bank, then no problem. You can purchase a ready for occupancy unit. But some people who don't have that big amount to pay upfront and one time will choose to buy a pre-selling unit instead. Let's say for example, the unit can be turned over within 1 year. So that means the 500,000 down payment can be spread over 12 months. So instead of having to pay the whole 500,000, you can now divide the 500,000 into 12 months. So I have my calculator with me. So 500,000 divided by 12. So that's 41,600 per month. So instead of having to pay the whole 500K, because you choose to buy pre-selling, you can just pay 41,600 per month for 12 months and then get your unit after a year. Now there are also schemes wherein you can pay within 24 months. So let's say for example, that would be around 20,800 per month. So as you can see, it gets more affordable the longer the time frame that you have to wait. So some people choose to have the flexibility of paying lower amounts every month. They don't mind waiting. So I guess that's what you call willing to wait po. Yung mga people who would like to invest in pre-selling. And another thing that I also like to point out to you is that we also have other fees as well that's added on top of the down payment. So earlier I said, right, like if a unit is 5 million pesos and then the down payment is 10%, so that's only 500,000. But we have to remember when we are buying from developers, we also have what we call as the miscellaneous fees, or this for property owners, we also have taxes. So miscellaneous fees also includes taxes as well. So for example, if the miscellaneous fees is 7.5%, just an example. So your 5 million times 7.5%, that's an additional 375,000. So on top of your down payment, so that's going to be 875,000 pesos. So a lot of people don't have this kind of amount. They don't have such a big amount for down payment. So if you're also considering getting a house and you're thinking, oh, I don't have such a big amount for down payment, then you may want to consider getting a pre-selling unit. Because either way, after a while, especially if you buy from a reputable developer, then you know that as time comes, you'll be able to get your unit anyway. So if you have a big amount for the down payment, then you can totally get a ready for occupancy home. But if you also don't have such a big amount, or maybe you do, but you just prefer to pay your monthly down payment slowly through time, then you may want to consider getting a pre-selling unit instead. So that's the big difference between RFO and pre-selling when it comes to financing. So I hope you guys learned from that. Alright, so that is the big difference between pre-selling and RFO when it comes to, of course, our turnover and most importantly, our financing, because I think that's where people have a lot of questions on. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys learned something new and maybe it also encouraged you to invest in real estate, because in a way, now that you know that there are pre-selling units out there, that means you get that confidence that you don't need to have a big sum of money right away just to purchase a property. You can look for a pre-selling unit and see the schemes that the developer has. If they have it stretched over a couple of months, maybe then the amounts will be more manageable for you and you can start investing in a property. So if you guys have further questions, if there's something else that you want to know, something else that you want to discover in real estate investing, please do leave your comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. And maybe I can also answer them in the next video. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you guys can hit that subscribe button. And please do let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. So see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!